Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Hakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Quanawath with the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp. Come with another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And I just want to touch on this real quick this morning. As brothers have been touching on this C6 63 bill that Canada has been in the news for lately, right? This article here by Glenn Beck, it goes into how Canada could pay people to throw their neighbors in prison, right? So as brothers have been going into that persecution, right, is about to ramp up, man. Right, we're seeing that foundation being laid, right? The scaffolding, right? We're in uh, the bare bones of the persecution, right? But soon it's going to be made manifest in America, man, right? Because this is taking place in Canada, as we saw. So, like, as we saw in China, right? They have their what's the word? Social credit system, so like, yeah. Right? We see that social credit system taking place in China. We're going to see a similar thing taking place in Canada, and then eventually, right, both of those things are going to make their way into America. It's a lot. But just reading this article real quick, man. It's off of glenbeck.com. It reads how Canada could pay people to throw their neighbors in prison, right? It reads Canada is now considering whether to pass a new bill that would turn into the most authoritarian that would turn it into the most authoritarian state in the Western world. The Online Harms Act is billed as a social media law meant to protect Canadians from harmful content, but it includes some extremely draconian changes to hate speech laws that would allow anyone to anonymously charge someone with a hate crime, or slightly with a hate speech crime, and if they were successful, they could pocket $20,000. And this is what we're about to start seeing take place here as well, man. Right, we're gonna see people uh, being jailed for their thoughts, right? Right, that Minority Report uh, movie, the thought crimes, these things, right? If you have hate speech, if you think a hateful thing, you say a hateful thing, right, and ultimately leading to the famine of the word, right? Now I'm gonna do a separate lesson on that, Lord will. But what we're seeing right now is that persecution is going to begin, and they're going to ultimately turn, right, your family, your friends, your coworkers against you, man. Right? Now, let me get this here real quick. This is Revelation chapter 12 and 17, and it reads, And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And this is what we're seeing right now, man. Right? This is them making war. You know, they make war not only with the sword, right, and the various killing tools that they were blessed with, but also through their legislations, right, through their passing of bills and things of that nature, man. And so what we're seeing is that that war is being made ultimately against the prophets, man, and the believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And in doing so, they because they don't know who is who, you know, they're just going after everyone, right? Because they ultimately want the souls of men, right? They want control over everything, So in doing so, they have to get rid of any dissenting opinions, right? So that's why you see, right, these Edomites who didn't get their slice of the pie, right, causing their tongues to fall upon the system, man, right? The tongue shall fall upon themselves, as the scripture said, right? That's why when you see these things, they get silenced as well, right? Because their voice is dissenting from the the will of the global elitists, man, right? But going back to the article, it says, they could pocket $20,000, right, after charging you with the hate speech, man, right, or with the hate crime. So people are going to be incentivized, right, to point out those who speak contrary to the opinion of the masses, man, right? And this is going to be, in your own household, man, right? Your parents, your friends, your family, right? The people you thought you were close to, right? They're all going to end up turning on you, right? Because you don't agree, with what the vast majority are going to be pushed to agree to, man. Because what we're finding out, Salaki, what we're finding out is that most people don't agree with these things, but they comply in order to live lives without interruption, right? They don't want the conveniences to be taken away, right? But in doing so, they're gonna bow the knee to the beast, man. So when that charagma, right, that implantable device, the mark of the beast, is implemented, right, and is presented, right, as the scriptures say, it will come upon the whole earth to try them that dwell upon the earth. When that thing is brought forth, these people are gonna, bow the knee. And who's to say, right? They're not going to be turning you in, to get more chip credits, man. you know. But I'm just finishing it out. It reads, Rebel News founder Ezra Levant joins Glenn to explain how this could turn into a massively corrupt industry that would make the Democrats' persecution of Donald Trump look like child's play. Plus, he explains how this bill, if passed, would destroy not just free speech, but the free press. Soon there will only be two kinds of journalists in Canada: government journalists and banned journalists. So right now what we're seeing is, right, the seeds of persecution, man. Right, we're seeing persecution on the horizon. Right, this world is going to come against us in ways that, right, we've never seen. You know, because they ultimately know that the voice of truth is the only thing, that's going to keep them from accomplishing their wicked devices, man. Right? Yahweh Shai putting his spirit in the earth is what's keeping them from accomplishing these things, man. Right? But we understand that they have bounds that they cannot pass, as the scriptures tell us. Right? Now, let's go here in Matthew. It's lucky. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 20. I'll start in 16. It reads, Behold, Matthew 10 and 16, Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, right? Because we're behind enemy lines, man, right? So they're going to be looking for anything uh, to come against us with, right? So that's why we don't have to be, right, all in the forefront, right? uh, proclaiming ourselves, man, right? We do it enough now on our videos and on the highways and byways each week, right? They have enough information, to come and get us if they deem so necessary, right? We don't have to be walking around proclaiming ourselves to be Israelites, wearing fringes everywhere, right? They already have record of who who knows they're Israelites and who doesn't, man. Right? If you don't think they've been watching, who they know who's watching what videos and going to what websites and reading what books, right? You got another thing coming, right? So we have to move accordingly, right? Not to bring any more turmoil upon ourselves and already is gonna come, man. Right? That's why it says move harmless as serpents. It's like harmless as doves and wise as serpents, man. Right? It says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles, right? So we're gonna be, right, thrown into these prisons, man, right? Some brothers are, right? Some brothers are gonna not have to go through the prison experience, but there are gonna be brothers who are in the prisons who get brought before these councils, who get brought before these governments, right? These rulers, and the Spirit of the Lord is gonna be with them in these times, right? To say what needs to be said, right? But when ye say, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. Right. So the Lord is going to be speaking through us, man. You know, right. He's going to be making His words known, right, to the faces of these people, right. For it's Salakia, for it is not ye that speak, but the Father, but the Spirit of the Father. Salakia. Matthew 10:20. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, right? So the point of the lesson, right? Your friends and family, they're all going to turn into agents, man, potentially. And that's how you have to look at it, right? Anyone who's not in this truth, right, is a potential agent, is a potential ally of the beast, right? And they're going to turn you in, right? They're going to do anything in their power to maintain some comfort, man, to maintain some of their worldly conveniences, man, right? Because they're not gonna want to let go of this place, man. You've already let go, right? So that's why you know, we're connecting ourselves to those who have already let go, man. Like-minded individuals. Um, it says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Right. So, right, friends, family, neighbors, as the article said, right, how Canada could pay people to throw their neighbors in prison, right? And desperation does, a lot of strange things to people, man. Right? You see their true colors, right? That once happy-go-lucky spirit, right, is gonna be gone off of these people, man. Right? They're gonna be is a dog eat dog, right? Every man for themselves. And if they get offered, right, and it might not even be $20,000. It might be, uh, a couple sandwiches, like a week's worth of food or whatever, right, to turn in someone who hasn't received the mark, right, or to turn in someone who's been out here preaching. We're gonna be enemies of the state, man, right? So people are gonna be incentivized, to come against us, and much like the Matrix, right? If you're not out of the Matrix, then you're susceptible to becoming Agent Smith, man. You know, anybody who's not out of the Matrix can become an agent. uh, Verse 22, and you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Right? This is ultimately, right, what we're going against right now, is that this world hates Yahweh Shai, right? So if we're speaking against this world, and this world hates Yahweh Shai, right, the world is going to hate us as a result, right? And this is something, it's the comfort that we get in the scriptures, because we know these things are to come. We know this persecution has to come to pass. We know through great tribulation, right, it's the only way we get to the kingdom. So all these things it's understood that it's a requirement. So we don't what's the word? We're not going to be stressed about it, right? We know us being in the flesh, still we might face some unease, but then we get comforted because we know that the Lord is going to be with His elect, man. At the end of the day, right? Because it says, we will be hated for His name's sake, man. But it reads, but he that endureth to the end uh, shall be saved, right? So that those who endure unto the end, right, the elect ultimately, right, you endure to the end, laquatazah, right, you will be saved, man, right? But we have to go through this great persecution, man. The persecution that we're about to face is going to be, no other, man. And laws like this that are being pushed, if it's in Canada, it's already in the works in America, man. Right? They probably already have it on the books. They just haven't, brought it forth to the public, right? Here we go. This is book of Second Timothy chapter 3 and verse 12. It reads, "Yea, and all that live godly in Hamashiach Yahushai shall suffer persecution," man. So it's an unavoidable thing, man. Right? Persecution is part of it, and we understand that. We find comfort in that, man. Right? Now, this is the definition for persecution. Let me see. Just get the regular common definition. It says hostility and ill treatment, especially on the basis of ethnicity, religion, or sexual orientation, or political beliefs, right? So they're going to come against us for our belief, right? Ultimately, for the truth's sake, man, right? This world believes in lies, we believe in the truth, and lies can't exist, right? Where the truth is present. So they have to try to get rid of the truth, right? And that's why, that famine of the word is about to take place, and Lord willing, I can get into a separate lesson, regarding that, right? But in this case, right, that persecution against the believers is going to take place, right? And every man who's not a part of this truth, it can be seen as an enemy, man, right? Right? They're a potential enemy, they're a potential agent, right? If you don't believe, you're susceptible, right, to the wiles of this devil because why? You don't have that armor of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, you don't understand. Well, actually, let me get it. Because like the scriptures tell us, no, 2 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? Because those who don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai with them, right, they're going to be taken advantage of, right? Right, like it says here. At least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. They're ignorant of his devices, man, right? Because either they don't know or they know, which all the people know, because the prophecies are unavoidable, right? So people know, right? But they're ignorant. They rather, have those rose-colored glasses on, right? So those people who continue to want this place to continue on, right? They're gonna be taken advantage of, man. They're gonna fall victim, right, to whatever Esau Edom has planned for them, man. It's like it says in the NLT, at least, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. They're unfamiliar, right? They don't believe that this man is has no good intent or good intentions, man. Right? They don't believe that uh, laws like this will ultimately force them into a situation where they're going to feel the need to turn in, a believer of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Right? They don't believe these things, right? But it's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that we're blessed to have that faith and belief, man. Right? That the Lord is going to take care of us, man. Regardless of who comes against us, right? Like I said, they he gave them a word that they could neither gainsay nor resist. Right? The truth is the truth, and that's it. Right? Lies are lies. Right? There's no in between. But just going back to the article again, right? How Canada could pay people to throw their neighbors in prison. Right? So that persecution is going to come upon the believers. Right? And it's going to be coming from your own household, from your own friend groups, right? From the people who you thought were close to you. No. This is Second Ezra chapter 16 and 70. Yep. It reads, "For there shall be in every place In the next city is a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, right? Let's look at that word insurrection. Let's see. It says an act or instance, this is out of Free Dictionary. The act or an instance of open revolt against civil authority or constituted government. Um, that's pretty much it. Organized opposition to authority, a conflict in which one tries to wrest control from another, right? Right. So it's going to be a conflict, right, between those who believe and those who don't believe, man, right? And those who believe are going to trust in the Lord. Those who don't believe are going to trust in Esau, man, and that's going to lead them into, turning each other in, right, for whatever compensation they receive, man, right? Even if it's a social credit based, right? And it reads verse 71, and they shall be like and they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, right? So we're gonna be, like I said earlier, public enemy number one, man, right? Their whole mo, their whole what's the word? Yeah, well, yeah. Their whole idea right now is to try to silence the voices of the prophets, and once they do that, right, they're gonna try to completely, destroy the prophets, man, right? And then going back to the article, right? How Canada could pay people to throw their neighbors in prison. This is what we're gonna, be faced with, man. Just a part of this coming persecution. Let me get this and we'll close out. I don't want to make it too long. So Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, it reads, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer," right? So don't be in fear, right? The Lord's with us, right? He's with us, he's against them at the end of the day. It reads, um, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days." Right? So just a time, period of time. But the devil, right, Esau, Edom, and his subsidiaries, right, are gonna cast us into prisons, man. You know, and he's gonna be using, the masses, right. A part of their agenda is public compliance, right, right. So it's pretty much peer pressure between the people, to where they they pressure each other into making these decisions, man. So it might not be your neighbor's idea, but it might be their neighbor, right, or somebody they know that say, "Oh, you got one of those people living around you. You should turn them in," right? So this is what we're gonna be faced with. "And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life," right? So Lord willing, we keep the faith. Lord willing, we bless with the spirit of endurance to make it through these times, man. Right? Because that's what we're gonna need, right? We're gonna need the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai to endure, what's to come. And this is just a small portion of that persecution, right? That we're seeing about to take place, man. So just a quick lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, Lord, one that was edifying. I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. Kwame Asheraba. We almost home. Shalom.